Thank you for having me. Okay, my grandson's name was Quanice Hayes. We called him Moose. We called him Moose from the moment he came out the womb. If you had seen his nose, you'd have called him Moose too. Moose was a kid that anybody had a chance to meet him. Short time, you would like him. I remember being on the bus or the Max, and somebody would walk up to him and say, "Hey, Moose," and I'm sitting back, "How do you know him?" And they would go through this long, drawn-out story how they met Moose. Moose loved to dance. That was what I call a dancing fool. He once twerk. Everybody know what twerking is. He once twerked for some pizza. So I'm telling you, he was just a person that you would love. And on February 9th, 2017, they destroyed a family. They ripped out a piece of us. And we're a close family. We love each other. We got each other's back. I just moved and I just got all my children together to move me to the second floor with no elevator. So we love each other. And Moose made us laugh. So he was special to us. And I'm telling you, not a soul within our family called him Quanice. I never said the word Quanice until after he was dead. And that goes for the whole family. His mother would call him Moose. Even when you're mad, you know how your parents tag your middle name with it? She didn't. She put a twist on Moose, and he knew he was in trouble. When he died, like I said, it was a fraction in our family. We started arguing with each other. We didn't do that. We was close-knit. We still are. We got through this. It took a battle within each one of us to recognize what we were doing to each other behind what Andrew Hurst did to us. I'm sorry I had to make notes. I'm not good. I'll be all over the place too. Well, my family, I didn't go with I found out about my grandson's death by somebody calling me on Facebook. And I wanted to know, was he dead, before I go tell his mother that he was dead. We called the police. I called my niece because she's the stable person in the family, and had her make all the calls to find out. And they wouldn't give us any information. So I was forced to go and tell my daughter, we got to go down to the police station. When she seen us, the first thing that came out my mouth, her mouth was, "Not Moose." Well, we went down to the police station, me and her went up, and they took a piece of paper, a picture, and slid it over to us. So, what was we to think? We thinking, maybe he's just in jail. And we asked them, and they said, yes, he's dead. Later on, we dealing with the district attorney. I couldn't deal with the district attorney. That's all I did was cry. This was my favorite grandson out of 21 grandkids. You can't just say share the love like that. You had to have one favorite. He happened to be my favorite. But anyway, they went to the district attorney and he's explaining this, that, and the other to him. That he said to him, because, you got all the rumors on Facebook. He was shot 6 times in the back. Untrue. So the district attorney called himself hushing these rumors, and he said, no, he was shot 3 times in the chest. And I know for sure because I had somebody in the office with the ME's office. Well, when we got the death certificate, it said 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. That just about destroyed my daughter. So, I don't have good things to say about the DA. He was only 17 when he was killed, when he was murdered. Because there was 17 police surrounding him, giving him conflicting orders. Put your hands up, get on down on your knees, crawl over. And then you got one with an AR-15 that shot. If anybody know anything about police, if somebody's pulling a gun, everybody's shooting. Why only one? I've been trying to get the answer to that question for a couple of years now. Well, my daughter is suing the city, so I can say whatever I want to because I didn't get anywhere in that lawsuit. So if you want to ask me anything, I'll tell you anything I know. But anyway, the press, I love them. They jumped in, the first thing came out their mouth was a grown man. He was 17. He was a kid. My daughter, I got a 17, was 17 at that time. She's at a visual form. They doing it right at the beginning. And the press happened to recognize her. Shoved the mic in her face. And she said to them, he was not a grown man. He was a kid. So they decided to change it to a teenager. Like she was saying, the press will eat you alive and come out with something totally different. I'm a lot of times in the press face. And I let them know, you mess my words up, I'm coming to your office. And I want your card so I know who you are. So I know the press, they listen to the police. So whatever the police give them, that's what they print. Okay, let me get my other paper. Okay, once I went to the DA's office, and I was just amazed when I went in there. They tell you can't film. I'm gonna figure out how to film it without him knowing about it. Somebody gonna give me a body cam. I just wait. I went into the office, and along the wall was a bunch of old white men. There's nobody of color, no women. At least there's one woman up there, but this is what the DA office looked like, been looking like for decades. I read a lot, just always have. and I read the grand jury transcripts. And you know, grand juries usually start, close to a month after the death, because you gotta you gotta get a lot of investigation things together. Well, my grandson started 22 hours later. And after they had the one witness that they said he was leaving town. Me and my mother just trying to figure out how he left town. He didn't have gas in his car when he said my grandson tried to rob it. So, and he had a nice car. I wonder if did he push it to where he was going. But anyway, they did that part at grand jury. And the last thing this man said, I'm glad he's dead. 23 days later, with that same thought in the grand jury's head, they had the rest of the grand jury hearing. Anybody in any form of legal know that was supposed to be stricken from the record. But no, they left that with the grand jury. I read the OIR report, that's the Office of Independent Review. They do a report after the case is closed. I've been trying to figure out why they should have did that while the case is going on, because you'll get an honest answer. I read that report and they told me so many things they could have did that my grandson would be alive today. If he did rob that man with his toy gun, he would be in jail. I mean, I can live with that. He'd be alive. I could go visit him. I can write him. I can hug him. I can talk to him. But these are things they took away from me. My grandson used to, we used to play this game with music, on when you got cable, they got all the lists where you can pick songs out. Well, we was all sit together and we would pick out songs that we wanted to hear. And when it got to my turn, my song was in the 80s. My grandchildren hated it. Well, most men could tell by the songs that I play from the 80s what I would like in the 2000s. And he would pick a song and show me and say, Granny, you would like this song. And that way, when we played the game, I would be up to date and nobody would complain. And the last song he showed me was by Jesse McCarthy, and it was called Beautiful Heart. I think that's what it was called. I can't listen to that song anymore, and I'm back in the 80s again. When I met Irene, this woman saved my life. I was angry, I was hurt, and there's nothing, she hadn't came along, I'd be in jail, because I'd have put a brick through the police station. I always tell everybody I carry a brick in my purse. That's why I carry a little purse, because of her. And she came to me, and this woman saved my life. Then she introduced me to Shiloh. And Shiloh taught me how to fight. This woman helped me how to control my anger and how to use my anger for what I need. If you ever come in my neighborhood, I've been in 2 different ones, so ever come in my neighborhood, you can look up and see all the stuff I do. I post pictures of people who died, and I put statements up, saying beware of pigs, and things like that, and I'll put them all over my neighborhood. And if you take one of my flyers down, I put 2. You take 2, you got 4. You take them 4 down, and I'm gonna get somebody tall, and I'm gonna dress that pole up. And most people leave them alone. I want y'all to know I dislike Underhill with my whole core. I just found out by Maria that he's not running. I told him that if he did run, I was going to be his groupie. Everywhere he went, I would have went. Like I tell most people, I ain't got no job. I can go wherever I want to. Okay, I keep a hot card. So I can go where I want to go. And so I'm glad he's not running. But I'm concerned. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm concerned about him picking one of the people in his office. That's not going to do any accountability. So I'm looking for a lawyer, preferably a civil rights lawyer that would run. And I'm telling you, me and my walker will go knock on people's doors. I can carry this upstairs. So if you all know any lawyer, let me know. And I'll give you my email address before I leave, because that's the best way to contact me. I know somebody that I was concerned about. If anybody would try to write, she works for the public defender's office. Her name is Autumn Shrewd. And if you get a I probably can look up her email address. If you all would write her, I would appreciate it. This is a woman with integrity. She took a moment and called the district attorney's office out for the wrong things they were doing to people. So I think this is a woman with integrity. So I truly would appreciate if you all call her and tell her we want her to run for district attorney. I know I did, and I think she's tired of me. As I sent her, she gave me her email address, so I figure anybody give me their email address, they want me to write. And another thing, I dislike Ted Wheeler. And believe it or not, I voted for this fool. I felt so bad for him when my grandson died, because he hadn't been in office a whole month. But I found out different when Terrell Johnson died. Nothing changed. When John Elliford, we had a picture, we could see it. When he died, nothing changed. Patrick Kimmons died. Nothing changed. And our recent Andre Gladden, a legally blind man, I'm telling you, his eye is blue. You couldn't help but seeing it. This is a black man with one blue eye. We had to do something. We can't do it by ourselves. We need laws changed. We need people changed. We need you all. We can't do it by ourselves. We'll try like hell, whether you help us or not, but we prefer your help. Thank you.